Fourth down, we have to do better, and this is really a call to action for all of um, my football coaching brethren. Um, we see what the climate is. We know that our young men are, and our young women, but our young women do a really good job of policing themselves when it comes to their grades and making sure that they have what they need to be successful at the next level, because they're not focused on this delusion of grandeur of the professional league and making millions of dollars. They're focused on, hey, I want to get this college scholarship so that my parents don't have to pay for me to go to school, or so that I don't have to leave college with debt. But a lot of our guys are thinking that I'm going to college regardless because I'm good enough. We have to do a better job of holding them accountable early, while they're still a little bit afraid, while they're still a little bit weary about, before they're feeling themselves, before people have boosted their head so high locally that they think that they're global even when they're not. Because we cannot allow these young men to finish high school with 2.5s and 2.6s, or have them finish with hollow 3.1s, where they have a 3.1, but when you break it down to their core class, they have a 2.3 because all of their A's are in a physical education class or an elective class that might just be really simple or just something that's fun and they take to. We have to hold their feet to the fire, because if we don't, we run into a year like we're running into right now, where colleges have been handcuffed by the NCAA, who says, hey, have an extra year, but don't give any extra scholarships. And so now we have kids all over the country. I see y'all tweeting every day, coaches. Oh man, these guys don't really want kids. These coaches ain't really, they have no room. All of those kids opted back in. And now the lower levels are trying to get something for nothing, because that's the society that we live in. That's what we do. So we have to help our kids out to be able to go, listen, son, you've got a 3.7 GPA. You can go wherever you want to go and walk on. You want to go to Georgia? You know what? If you want to go to Georgia, young man, take your 3.7 and go to Georgia. If you want to go to Alabama, take your 3.7 and go to Alabama and walk on and make them love you. Don't take your 2.7 and go and hope that, or tell people that they're sleeping on you when you have a 2.7. They're not sleeping on you. You slept on yourself. But we as coaches can help, because we all know that if you keep that GPA high early, it becomes almost a thing where you go, where the kid goes, oh snap, what's that C? I'm used to getting A's. But if they start with C's and they're used to getting C's, once they get to a C, they feel satisfied. Or once they get to a B, they feel accomplished. And we know that a B is just a 3.0. That's it. A 3.0 is nothing. The 3.0 has to be the floor. It can't be the ceiling. And so we as coaches, we have to do better. We got to start banging it into their heads in the youth league. If they're not getting good grades, sit their asses down. In middle school, if they're failing the class, sit their asses down. And in high school, I know that there's a trickle down now. And I know, coaches, you have to win in order to keep your jobs. I get it. Trust me, I know. If anybody else doesn't know, I know. You have to understand that the mission is bigger than the wins and the losses, and that we are losing the battle with our young men if we let them graduate with 2.7s. if we let them graduate with a 3.0 or a hollowed out 3.1. We're losing the battle. And now it looks like that we're not trying to put our kids in college, or we're not trying to do whatever. And you know that a lot of times those colleges love to have your kid, but they can't give them enough aid to get them in, or they can't offer them a full scholarship, and it's $50,000 to go to that school. And you're not sending your kid to a school with a $10,000 scholarship and $20,000 in aid, in free aid, so that they, or not even free aid, but just in aid, so that they now have to take out $30,000 in loans. And now they're finishing college $120,000 in debt. No, that's irresponsible. You coaches know that. You don't want to do that to your kid. You don't need those hollowed celebrations. We can help them. And we can help them by holding their feet to the fire early. Because if you do it when they come in the door as freshmen, if you make them live up to this standard as freshmen, then you don't have to worry about them as seniors. They already understand it. So fellas, this is my charge to you. Ladies, this is my charge to you. Mothers, fathers, let's enjoy the game. Let's enjoy watching our kids compete. But let's not think about wins and losses before we think about that young man winning. We want him to win. And the only way he's going to win when it comes from going from high school to college, the only way he's going to win is if he gets the grades. And that falls on us. We can do better.